Back in 1950, Enrico Fermi, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist and one of the fathers of the atomic age, was having lunch with colleagues at Los Alamos when he asked a question that still unsettles science today. Where is everybody? The universe is enormous. It's ancient. And based on the sheer number of stars and planets, it seems like life should exist somewhere else. Yet so far,
our galaxy is a few hundred, maybe 100,000 light years across, meaning light takes 100,000 years to get from one edge of the galaxy to the other edge. There's about 100 billion stars in our galaxy. There's about 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe. That's 100 billion squared stars in the observable universe, each one with 10 planets, call it, around it. You get numbers that are incomprehensible. A million planets in the observable universe, 10 to the 24th planets, right? So it just becomes crazy. And then you think, well, if only 1% of them have life on it, the fastest thing that humans have ever made, Voyager, it's traveled the farthest away from Earth. It's 1 light day from the Earth. It was launched 55 years ago, before I was born. And in that sense, it's that thing is the farthest we've ever gone. It's only 1 light day. The nearest star is 4 light years away. So it's thousands of times closer. That amount of information for them to know about us, that's just for them to know about us. That's not to send a return signal. That'll be 200 years from now, right? So the quickest we could ever send something is it goes out at the speed of light, reaches a destination and comes back to us. That light signal left 100 years ago. It's gone almost 100 light years away. For us to hear back from them, we heard you, you exist, that'll take another 100 years. Does that make sense? Of about 5,000 years.
Wow.
Which is like barely back to the pyramids, right?
Shit.
So some say you hit this filter and then you get filtered out. The question is, are we past the filter? We're not yet there. So there's a lot of explanations. Another one that I like is I take my kids to the San Diego Zoo. And when I take them there, there's a gorilla exhibit, and then they get kicked out. But what if you went, instead of the San Diego Zoo, we go to the Wild Animal Park? Then you're really far away from the gorillas. You're not going to knock on the glass. You don't even need glass. You're really far away. You observe them at a distance. Maybe there are things lurking, observing us at a distance. But as interstellar species that has the ability to come here or to sense our activity and our presence, has advanced technology, what is it that we're going to learn from? I mean, have we learned that much? Besides about the species of gorillas and bacteria, which has to do with Alfred Nobel. Do you know the story? You know who Alfred Nobel was? He invented dynamite. So he was one of the richest people in the world, kind of like Elon Musk or Tesla of the 1800s. And he was one of the richest people in all of Europe and all of the world. And his family was involved with making sea mines for the Russian and Crimean battle war of 1840, something like that. Alfred Nobel and his father, Emmanuel. And they were trying to invent ways to make their methodology more lethal. And one of Alfred's brothers, his baby brother, Emile, started to play around with nitroglycerin. Then in 1888, he's walking around Paris, and he sees a headline in the Parisian newspaper, and it says, Alfred Nobel, the merchant of death, is dead. The man who committed no benefit to humanity and killed more people than any other person in human history is dead. And he decided at that point, if he died then, that's the way the world was going to remember him. Like George Bailey in A Wonderful Life, right? He sees the ghost of Christmas present, ghost of Christmas past, and Scrooge, same exact story in A Christmas Carol. He got a glimpse of what his own death would be like. And he said, I'm going to change my life from now on. I don't know how much longer I have to live. He took this huge fortune and he gave 99% of it to the Nobel Prize. And he established it. And its goal was to do what this newspaper said he didn't do, which is to make the greatest benefit to mankind. So he created a prize for peace, for chemistry, for men. And it wouldn't have happened without this near-death experience that Alfred Nobel encountered.
No matter